The day is finally here. Yes, I think you may already know what I am talking about, but that man on the screen right there is finally back into the Phillies lineup tonight. We're going to get into all of that, what went down today as far as roster moves, Bryce Harper's return, what it means for the lineup, and more. Obviously, today, if you have not already seen, Bryce Harper has been reinstated from the 10-day injured list ahead of tonight's series opener on Monday night, fireworks night down at Citizens Bank Park against the San Diego Padres. To make room on the 26-man roster, infielder Buddy Kennedy was designated for assignment. And I don't really have to, explain to you why this is so big, because everybody watching this video already knows why it's so big. But getting Bryce Harper back in the lineup is just absolutely massive from a Phillies standpoint. Harper, not having maybe the best start to his season that he's had in the past, but, before he went down, is still pretty darn good. 123 OPS plus, as you see over there on the right side of the screen. A 446 slugging percentage before he went on the IL. Just 47 strikeouts, 8 stolen bases, 55 hits in 213 at-bats. A 368 on-base percentage, 35 walks, 9 home runs, 34 RBIs. And the Phillies now get to slot their best player. Bryce Harper's the Phillies' best player, and they get to slot him back into the lineup. And I know it's, pretty easy to say, but getting your best player back in your lineup is just a massive boost. And it's a massive boost from the offensive standpoint. It's nice to get his glove back at first base, but it's also just to have the threat back in the lineup. When you see the Phillies lineup, it's just way deeper when Bryce Harper's in there. You don't have to bat Nick Castellanos fourth. Max Kepler's not up hitting fifth in your lineup. JT Realmuto's not up hitting fifth in your lineup. Everybody slides back, and it just makes the lineup deeper. Tonight, obviously, Turner leading it off on Trey's 32nd birthday, so happy birthday to Trey Turner. Leading off playing shortstop tonight, Kyle Schwarber in the DH spot hitting second. And there's Bryce Harper back in the 3-hole playing first base. Alec Boehm hitting fourth, playing third base. Nick Castellanos out in right field hitting fifth. Max Kepler, who's been struggling recently, out in left field hitting sixth. JT Realmuto behind the dish hitting seventh. Bryson Stott, second base, hitting eighth, and Brandon Marsh out in center field, being that wraparound 9-hole / leadoff kind of guy in the 9-hole tonight, playing center field with none other than Zack Wheeler on the mound. But I did want to dive into just a little bit more on the Bryce, reinstatement and the injury itself. So Harper spoke to reporters today before the game, and he basically said he didn't think that this wrist would feel any better than it does now today. So he and the team decided it was the right time to return. Harper said, "I thought we were kind of at a standstill of it feeling the same the last couple days." And I won't lie, in the video of Harper speaking to reporters and writers and everybody down there in the media world, it just kind of seemed like the Phillies don't know if it's going to be 100% anytime soon. If Harper came back and was 100% and ready to go, Harper would have said that. Harper's, he's not a man of a ton of words, especially to the media. He says what he needs to say, and he's very passionate about everything. But, he doesn't go on these 10-minute rants about the in-depth of his injury. If he knew he was 100%, he's going to say he's 100%. And, deep down, I think this is an injury right now that the Phillies are just probably going to have to monitor. Yes, getting Harper back is huge, but he shouldn't go play the next 20 straight games. There's going to have to be days off in there for Harper. Obviously, now with Otto Kemp up on the team and having a nice little start to his major league career, the Phillies can afford maybe a day off for Harper, or maybe just having him DH one day. Having Schwarber, maybe go out to left field, having Harper DH, having Kemp play first. Phillies have options, but I think this is going to have to be something that the Phillies are going to have to monitor, because right now the Phillies need Bryce Harper 100% for October. I mean, I think we saw this lineup and the state of this lineup without him, and I'm not saying Bryce Harper fixes everything, because realistically he only hits 3 to 4 times a game. But it's just the fear factor, it's the depth, and it's just everything that goes along with it. Other than him just being a really good hitter and just overall player, obviously an elite baseball player on the field. But once again, this is just going to be something I think they're going to have to monitor because, I didn't love this quote. I can't lie. I just think, something is just still a little wrong. And I think they kind of knew that when I, along with reporters, spoke to Harper, I think it was like 2 weeks ago down at Citizens Bank Park when he was still on the injured list. He basically said it's just kind of a waiting game. There's no surgery that's required. It's not a broken bone. It's just something they're going to have to monitor, treat the right way, and bring him back in the best way possible. I fully expect the Phillies to do that because, this is their star player. And with the way the games without Bryce have gone, I think they knew this before Bryce went down. But this lineup needs Bryce Harper. Granted, I will say, all I asked of the Phillies to do until Harper returned was to tread water. When you lose your best player, you can't expect to go 10 games over 500 in that stretch. It's just how the game works. The Phillies went 13-14 in the game since Bryce Harper was on the IL. One game under 500. It could have been a lot worse. There could have been a lot more games in there they lost. Some of these games where the bats have gone cold and they've still ended up pulling it out because of the pitching. Some of these games could have gone a lot worse, and they didn't. But Bryce Harper is back, and he will be in the lineup again today. Once again, lineup tonight, Phillies opener, Zack Wheeler versus Matt Waldron for the San Diego Padres. Padres just lost 2 of 3 to the Cincinnati Reds. Trey Turner leading off at shortstop. Kyle Schwarber in the DH spot hitting second. Bryce Harper playing first, hitting third. Alec Boehm over at third base, hitting cleanup. Castellanos in right. Kepler in left. JT behind the dish. Stott at second base. And Marsh in center field. I did want to give just one really quick shout out here at the end of the video to Aaron Nola. Today, Aaron Nola adds yet another accolade to his resume. 10 years of service time. The Phillies mainstay, this from the MLB Players Association. The Phillies' mainstay has been one of the elite aces in baseball since his debut at 22 in 2015, 10 years ago. He appears prominently in the franchise's record books, ranking among the top 10 in strikeouts, wins, and B-WAR among pitchers. The 2018 All-Star has received Cy Young votes in 4 separate seasons and continues to make his mark in Philadelphia. And I do want to add there to the end of that sentence, on and off the field. So big shout out to Aaron Nola for 10 years of service time. Bryce is back. I want you to give me a prediction. If you stayed this long, thank you once again for tuning in to Phillies Digest. Give me a player that you think is going to go yard tonight. I got Trey. My prediction tonight is Trey Turner hits his first home run at Citizens Bank this season. Yes, you're probably like, wait, what? Trey Turner has 11 home runs this year. They are all on the road. He's still waiting for his first home run. He's been probably the best hitter on the Phillies this year. My prediction is that he finally goes yard at Citizens Bank tonight. And once again, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. We are growing fast here on Phillies Digest. This has been the newest episode of Phillies Digest. My name is Luke Arcaini, and I will see you guys next time.